Loading Up Podcast. Game on.
Perfect.
Welcome back to the Loading Up Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Producer J, along with my other co-host, Brother Zay.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man? How you been?
All right, working.
Working and
Working.
Yeah, and I see you got a little gift from your working that you showed me.
That is true. That is
Yes.
true.
But
I did receive so like they do incentives at my job, and with the biggest incentive that I got a free Nintendo Switch 2
look at
as
that.
well as Donkey Kong Bonanza. So thanks. This is my last hurrah from my job. So
And you didn't have to give Nintendo a dime.
yeah.
Before we get into all this stuff, I want to remind you that if you're watching on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can share us, rate us, do all that nice stuff. And if you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, which is NordVPN, W Energy, and Starforge PCs. You can save some money off subscriptions, off products, and when you support them, they support us, so you'll help us. And we thank you, and we thank them. With that being said, Brother Zay, what you been playing?
Oh man, so I ended up beating the Rogue Prince of Persia. I found an ending, which was really dope. Really good game. Recommended. I really do recommend it a lot. So it's a fun game. I also, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube, I playing through Silk Song, and I guess the first 30 minutes of of us talking, you'll see me die a lot. The game is tough, but it's meant to be that way. And it's once you find your way and you get like a groove, and you start getting more powers and more abilities, things start to really pick up. And the game is really fun. I was hesitant about it at first because I didn't really play the first one. So what I did was I went back and started the first Hollow Knight, and I started getting into it and learning how it plays, and I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. So that's when I started Silk Song, and started because I got that experience from Hollow Knight. I said, let's try some Silk Song, and I'm really enjoying it a lot.
Nice. Yeah. I felt the same way. Like when Silk Song first came out, like I wanted to try it, but I was like, but I didn't play the first one. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. I played the first one and I got into it a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been playing a little bit of the original Hollow Knight.
Nice.
I've also still been playing Kingdom Hearts. Like today, like I like no life Kingdom Hearts because I usually just play for a little bit because I'm trying to progress the story. But now I'm at a point where I've mentioned before where I felt like I don't know why I thought it was so hard growing up and stuff like that. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, like now it's starting to get a little bit tough because I'm reaching towards the end. And now I'm where I'm supposed to be at in terms of like leveling, whereas before maybe I was like over leveled. I don't know. But so now I'm starting to grind and I'm trying to like level up. I'm trying to get better weapons, but in order to do that, you gotta get special items and all that stuff. So that's what I've been doing like all day today. So yeah.
Okay.
That's the main thing I've been playing. Also, I found out that because at my job I do play like on my Ally. Sometimes I'll play like games that I downloaded. But sometimes I'll play games from the cloud because I mentioned that like the cloud gaming is it's pretty good. And I actually found out that it's because I am near a data center. I mean, we're in New York, and they have a data center near here. So that's probably why the quality is so great. And
Yeah.
that's why it also varies where you're living, because I've heard people say that it's trash. But I can't, it's weird because I don't experience that. So, but that's the reason why. Um so yeah, so I found out that they added Kingdom Hearts to stream your own games. And now I can, cuz you can't, it's not a play anywhere game, so you can only play it on the console or where you bought it. But now I can just stream the game, and it feels like I'm playing natively. So and I found that out just randomly. because I remember I was just looking and I saw it pop up on my thing that said, because it shows the last games you played, and it showed
Yeah.
that up, and then it had the little cloud symbol on it. I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't there before. And then I looked it up, and like I couldn't find anything saying it. And then like a few hours later, they posted a thing saying that they added all the Kingdom Hearts games to stream your own games. So I was like, oh wow, perfect, just in time, right as I'm getting into it, they added so that way I could play on the go. How convenient! It's like they knew or something.
Yes, they did it for you.
They did it for me. So that was a nice little treat. But yeah, so that's my attention is 100% on Kingdom Hearts. I'm probably gonna like once I complete the first game because it's the collection, so it has a bunch of games in it. Once I beat the first game, maybe I'll take a little bit of a break because I know the next game is a little bit of a time sink, and I don't wanna get too much into it because I know there's a bunch of other games I want to play. I still haven't finished Metal Gear Solid Delta, but I mean it's a remake, so I have done it already, but still.
Yeah.
Um, I want to play that more, and I want to play other games more. So yeah, but
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
I even forgot to mention that my friend Ron, he actually purchased Borderlands 4 for me so we could play together. I told him I wasn't gonna be able to get it right away. He went and
Yeah,
purchased it for me, and we've been playing that, which, despite the performance issues, it's a lot of fun. It's very funny, in classic Borderlands fashion.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I never got into it, but I get why people would like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely fun to play with friends.
Yeah, this
It's
seems
definitely
like that one of those games. Yeah,
Yeah, and this one is a little more open world, so it's a little bit, more you'll find things out in the world, and they have uh, a lot of hidden jokes, little hidden references and stuff. So it's very fun.
yeah,
Yeah. All right, that's what we've been playing. So let's, I guess we jump right into some news, right?
yeah.
Um,
Let's do it.
la- so last time, well, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, we reported on a rumor that GTA 6 was on track to be released in May, and you know what? I'm sick of this story. Now the rumor states that GTA 6 may get a second delay into October of next year. This comes out of is it Tom Henderson? Yes, Tom
Yeah, Tom
Henderson.
Anderson.
He has a long history providing accurate industry information, and according to Henderson, he has heard rumblings that point to another delay for GTA 6 to sometime into October. And he says, I don't think it's gonna release in May. Now, this has not come from anybody in Rockstar or Take-Two, the parent company. So nothing's been officially confirmed. Nobody's commented on any of the rumors. I guess they're just working. They're working and trying to get this game out as soon as possible. But it is noteworthy. This game is probably going to be the biggest game ever to
Yeah,
release when
the
it
biggest
does release.
launch. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be the biggest ever, and I think a delay will make it even bigger. Um, it's going to
that's
be absolutely insane when it actually does release.
Yeah, that's one thing that you can count on with Rockstar is that they will spare no expense to make sure that their releases are top quality. And if you look at GTA 5, you look at Red Dead Redemption 2, all their games of the past like 15 or so years, all of them have released, I mean, obviously not flawlessly, but damn near close. And it's like it's a testament to their level of detail and their attention to the little stuff. They make sure that everything works. I mean, obviously there's still going to be some bugs like I don't think you can ever release a game bug free, but Rockstar games are notorious for releasing almost pristine. And I think that's
Very
why
well polished. Very well polished.
yes, they have a quality to them that is unmatched. At least, especially by today's standards, because freaking every game releases with damn near like several game-breaking bugs that they just get patched later and just like, oh, whatever, we'll fix it after the fact. But
Yeah.
no, Rockstar is the opposite. They make sure that the game runs as intended on launch, which is it's a testament to like um the era that they came from, because they were, I mean, Rockstar is one of the last developers that you can count on to deliver. And I feel like they have that standard to keep up, because once they lose that, then it's all downhill, you know? Because we've seen plenty of heavy hitters fall, like Bungie, BioWare. They've all fall victim to the releasing and pressure from publishers and whatever have you. But Rockstar, they don't have that issue for whatever reason, and it's good. Obviously, that comes with the caveat that we have to wait forever for their games, but I mean, it's worth it. Like you said, GTA 6 will be the biggest, not even game, it'll be the biggest entertainment launch in history. I honestly, I think. It'll rival like all the Avengers movies, Endgame, even the upcoming Doomsday and Secret Wars. I feel like people will be talking about GTA 6 in that same breath. Like
Yeah.
people will say like, "Oh, remember when GTA 6 came out? And where were you when you played that game and stuff like that?"
It's gonna be huge for even the current gen console generation, simply because this game will not be available on
Last gen, yeah.
PS4 or Xbox One, where there is a huge install base still playing. So it's gonna bump up in sales for both Xbox and PlayStation. It's gonna be a tremendous day for when this game officially releases.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy to say that too, because like we're already 5 years in and they're still talking about converting people from last gen.
Yeah.
But this is one of those games that will do it. So I mean, I don't want him, like I've said this last time, I don't want them to delay. I'm not cheering on a delay.
Yes,
I
you
hope
are.
they
You
don't
want that
delay.
$5.
I I know it's gonna happen, and honestly, I'm okay with it, because, as I said before, like they're Rockstar is known for quality, so I can trust them to deliver. So take as long as they need. We'll be ready.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely take as long as you need, make the game perfect. We saw how well the game was made for Red Dead Redemption 2, and that came out like 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
So, the attention to detail was absolutely insane, unmatched by any developer out there. So, I know they're cooking. Well, whether it comes out May 26th of next year or in October 26th, we will be ready.
Yes.
We will
Yes.
be ready.
And I'm sure other developers will be happy if there's another delay, because that means more time to release their games.
Yeah, they're definitely waiting for. I know a lot of game companies and publishers are out there. They're looking at when is it going to release so we can avoid it at all costs, because we know we're not making any money that month.
Exactly.
So
I
it's
do wonder, it obviously there has to be some level of like understanding between at least the top level developers or publishers. Like Take-Two is not going to release the same like month or week as like a Call of Duty. Do you think? I don't know.
I
Cuz
mean,
usually Call of Duty releases around that time.
in October or
Yeah.
November. It's either October or November when they release.
So
I
like
think this year is November.
this year's November, but they have released in like mid-October too.
Yes, they have.
So I don't know. Like I feel like a better date to release would be September, but it's like it's GTA. Like
It don't matter.
they're gonna pick a date.
Yeah.
So it's either you go up against them or you move.
Well,
But that's what I'm
think about it
saying.
this way. All
If it's another juggernaut like Call of Duty, like who moves?
I think Call of Duty stays where it's at, where it wants to be, simply because it's also will be in Game Pass as well.
True,
You
true.
know, so I think Call of Duty's bulk of the money that they make is coming from microtransactions anyway. So they're not too worried. I mean, it's Call of Duty. It's gonna be successful anyway.
Right.
Um, but everybody's been waiting for Grand Theft Auto, so it will be way bigger than Call of Duty, at least the first month or two. Um, I'm expecting servers to crash. I'm expecting huge downloads to take forever. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a crazy day.
I hope that they release that preload like a week prior, because there's no way that everybody's gonna be able to download that thing in time. They're gonna
Yeah.
need as much time as possible.
It's gotta be. What do you think? Let's try and make predictions now. How big is the file size gonna be?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like huge. I'm gonna guess maybe anywhere from like 80 to 90 gigabytes.
Ooh, that for me. That's conservative. I was thinking at least 150.
One film, that is like that's a
It's,
huge boy.
it's GTA 6. You're gonna have some free space.
Yeah, but all right. So this is under the assumption that I don't think GTA Online is launching with the game.
Okay.
I think that's gonna have a separate release, similar to what they did last time with GTA 5, where it's gonna release the base game first and then release online later. And I think that's gonna be, honestly, I don't know. It really just depends on if they want to bundle it together or release it as a separate thing, because that's what it seems like more people are doing now. Like I mean, Call of Duty started it with Warzone, and now Battlefield is doing it with their battle royale.
Yeah.
I think it would make a lot more sense to release GTA Online as a standalone. I don't know if it'll be free. Honestly, they can make it. They could charge for it, and people will still buy it. But if they want to maximize the amount of players, they could make it free.
I
I don't know.
mean, with the amount of shark cards that they use, as well as like all the DLC and stuff, they could make GTA Online free and just have you pay, into like getting things.
Yeah, but
You
like I said, I think they could also get away with charging for it as well. But
if
either way,
if there's no microtransactions to be paid right away, like you have to pay right away in order to do things or unlock bunkers or whatever the case may be, then I can see it being free. You
well,
know?
we'll see if that even comes to pass. I
Yeah.
think, regardless, I still don't think it's launching day one. So I think that's why it'll have a lower file size. And then once that comes out, there'll be an update which might increase it or whatever.
That makes sense. I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah. But either way,
Yep.
you're probably gonna have to clear out a lot of space.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, yeah, 80 gigs is not,
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah. The reason why I say that is because like games like Battlefield 2042 is like 109 gigs. So there
Yeah,
are games that are up there. Call of Duty is like 125, so you never know.
true. I
Yeah.
guess it really just depends on what GTA 5 was, and then you just go up from there.
Yeah. All right, let's continue on. Enough of the GTA rumors. I'm sad if it gets delayed. Um, we have some Legion Go, Lenovo Legion Go news. So the Legion Go 2 is available to pre-order, and it's having some issues. There are a lot of people getting their pre-orders canceled because Legion Go cannot fulfill all their pre-orders. They're having trouble fulfilling all pre-orders, which is kind of crazy. That means a lot of people must have pre-ordered if they can't fill out the full pre-order list. You would think that they would have enough for all the pre-orders and maybe some left over, but not being able to fill out all pre-orders is kind of like that is really troublesome for them.
Yeah, it also is interesting too, because like it shows that they weren't expecting to sell that much. I
Yeah.
think they knew the price point was gonna be an issue for a lot of people, but I also think that if you knew, well, these handhelds, especially for like the Legion Go and all that stuff, like they're gonna be expensive. Like going into it, you knew that.
Yeah.
Um, I think the enthusiasts are willing to pay, because we got to think the target audience for these handhelds are primarily PC gamers.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the Xbox Ally, they're going after a little bit of the console gamers, because now they're branding it and making it coincide with the console experience, giving it that the full screen experience. That's what they're calling it. That's a console type feature, and I feel like that's in an effort to appeal to that audience. But all these other handhelds that don't have that, it's basically just Windows. So those people are PC gamers who they're trying to appeal to. So we're talking about the same people that will spend thousands of dollars on GPUs and CPUs and all the top of the line specs for their rigs. So the Legion Go 2 chart, they're costing like 1200, 1300, whatever it is. That's nothing to them. That's like, par for the course. That's what they signed up for. They're PC gamers. They're willing to spend. So I think them not being able to fulfill the up to the demand it is troublesome, but it is more interesting for me. It makes me feel like they underestimated how many people were actually going to buy this thing.
I mean,
But it
have you seen
also,
the price?
well, yeah, that's what I was saying. They probably thought because of the price, because nobody's gonna buy this. But like I said, PC gamers they'll buy anything. Not buy anything, but money is no object for the PC gamer. So at least from my experience, like if you're gonna get into PC gaming, just know that it's a very expensive like hobby. Obviously,
It doesn't have to be.
it doesn't have to be, but it can be. And I
Yeah.
think the PC enthusiasts are willing to spend that much money.
I
And
mean,
obviously,
at the prices that they're listing, so the high end Legion Go 2 is 1350 in the States and 1500 in the UK. Insane.
yeah, that is insane to the average gamer. But again, we're talking about PC gamers, so they take that and they see it as a challenge. So
Yes.
yeah, what gets me though is the fact that they're canceling pre-orders. Why not just hold them until you can make more? Unless they don't plan on making a lot more anytime soon.
Maybe
I
they
don't
don't
know.
have the product to make more, all the bits and pieces to make more, especially with tariffs going on.
Well, yeah, but they could still just say that it's back ordered. That's
True.
not out of the realm of possibility that like you could do that. That plenty of products have done that where, hey, we don't have enough, but we'll still honor your pre-order and we'll get it to you whenever we can. And then who knows when that'll be, but at least the pre-order is still valid, so people don't have to wait to pre-order it again.
Well, the official word for them is that they said we need to cancel some pre-orders placed directly on Lenovo.com. We don't believe in holding on to customers' payments for products we can't ship in a timely manner. As soon as our online inventory is replenished, Lenovo.com will show updated availability and ordering will reopen. So they do say that in the next line it literally says that they're going to have we're going
A
to see
second
more
round.
availability available soon in the coming weeks and
Uh,
improving on the website. So
I feel like that's a cop out. Like I think they just and they're basically making the decision for the consumer. Like
yeah,
people already spent their money. They knew they were gonna spend that much money. If you can say at least give them the option. You'd be like, hey, if you want to cancel your pre-order, go ahead. But if not, we'll honor it as soon as possible. Why cancel it? Because actually, that kind of something similar happened to me. Um, I saw on Twitter that there was a sale for the new well, not the new one, but that not the Apple Watch, the Galaxy Watch, where if you trade in your current Galaxy Watch, you can get up to $150 off, in addition to a $40 discount, like right off the bat. So it's like $190, almost $200 off. And I saw that, I was like, oh, let me see. And I was able to get, well, I saw that I was able to get the Galaxy Watch 7, which is not the newest one. The newest one is the 8. But I was able to get the 7 for like $80. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like that's way cheaper than it would have been if I bought it by itself. I think it's like almost $300. So I did it, and then I guess because so many people did it, they canceled my pre-order. And
oh damn.
I was like, why? Why did you cancel it? Like I was willing to spend the money. Like just send it to me when you can. because then I checked again and it said it was sold out. But I was like, I know it's not gonna be sold out forever. Just give it to me whenever you can, or like that's what I'm saying. Like, why cancel it automatically? Why not
The-
just give the customer the option to be like, hey, if you still want it, you can keep your pre-order or you can cancel it. It's fine.
I think maybe they canceled it because a lot of people were taking advantage of that discount, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't want to run out of stock on people getting it for way cheaper.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, they're still offering the discount. It's just they sold out of that one. I could
Yeah.
get the 6 if I wanted to. But
No.
yeah, but I don't once they canceled, I was like, whatever, I don't need it. Yeah, so yeah, I don't like the whole idea of canceling pre-orders. I would just rather give the customer the option to cancel it themselves if they want to, or just wait it out. I'm sure most people would be willing to wait it out. But what's interesting now that this creates an opportunity for the ROG Ally, the Xbox Ally, that's gonna be coming out to kind of steal away those customers. Because now that the people got their stuff canceled, they're probably gonna migrate to that one now. I mean, obviously it doesn't have the OLED, but it's most likely, I mean, we don't know. Um, Most likely gonna be a little bit cheaper. So it'll be an easier sell for people to just get that one instead. And it comes with the Xbox full screen experience right out the gate. So
That's interesting. Maybe people will jump to the ROG Ally X and because that comes out well, supposed to launch on October 16th, but we're still
we
no
still don't have
word on
pre-orders.
pricing or anything.
Yeah, no word on pricing, no word on pre-orders.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know when we'll hear about that at this rate.
Yeah, I know. It's very confusing, very interesting time for the PC handheld market.
Yes, it is interesting that now all of a sudden like these handhelds are becoming super popular, whereas like the thought of it was just like, oh, it's just niche, but now clearly people want it. So
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford. Um I think we talked a little bit about it a week or two ago, where Borderlands 4 fans were upset about the performance on PC and how things weren't working properly. And Randy Pitchford had some choice words for fans, even telling people just get a refund, whatever, or make another. He said, how about you code a game
make your
and
own, yeah, code your own game.
code your own game and tell us how to do it. It was very weird, but people actually did it. They were like, "Okay, here's a fix." You know, the internet is very like, don't mess with the people on the internet. Like they will come after you with more knowledge than you think they have, and it's absolutely insane. This time, Pitchford had some more things to say, some more frustrating responses. So, in lights of the performance issues, he was telling people to just turn off a particular setting. It turned out that that setting didn't exist for off mode. He didn't even know, but he's giving out advice on how to fix things, and without even the knowledge of knowing, people pointed that out. He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's only low. You can't turn it off." So like there's a lot of things going on. I think somebody needs to take Randy's Twitter privileges away.
Take his phone away. Yeah.
Yeah, take his phone away and just work on fixing the performance for PC and even for the console. Because in the console, in the late game, I'm seeing people say that it is very, very rough when it comes to the performance. So they do have work to do. I think Randy needs to just be quiet, let
Yeah.
them work on fixing the issues that they have, and let it play out. Just calm down, Randy. Calm down.
Yeah, I think it's an issue because I get he's trying to defend the game. Obviously, like you would defend your game too, but I
Yeah.
feel like he's doing it in a way that's like it's more combative than
Yeah.
anything, and he's being more defensive about the game when that you're not supposed to be that way. Like obviously there are problems. The issue is not on the gamer. It's on the performance. Like it's on the developers. And I get the developers, you don't want to be too harsh on them. Obviously, video games are hard to make. So, but at the same time, like, you still got to acknowledge that the performance is rough. So what he's doing is basically just like passing it off on the gamer, and he's just like, "Oh, it's your fault. Like, it's get better rigs and change your settings and stuff like that." It's like, no, you shouldn't have to do that. Like, it shouldn't be if you got a 5090 on in your thing, you shouldn't have to adjust much settings. Like, the only thing you should adjust is the FOV. That's it. Like, obviously, like,
And that's the thing, on the console, there is no FOV slider.
yeah, and then the console, that's a whole different, and that's why they didn't release. Supposedly, that's why they didn't release review codes for the console version, because that was a whole different mess in its own. And granted, like, this is not the first time. Again, I've said it before, like when I was talking about the Rockstar thing, like, games release broken, buggy, and all that stuff. This is not the first time this has happened. I think, I mean, sadly, we've come to a point where, like, we can be a little bit understanding at that point, where if a game releases buggy, if as long as it's still playable, we'll forgive certain bugs and issues out the gate. But I think the fact that he's bringing more attention to it by being combative is not helping things. And now he even said, get a refund. And people are going to do that. Like, don't tempt people. People will do it. So
PC players will downvote your game and leave a negative review, refund it, and then talk trash about you on 4chan and Reddit.
Yeah. So you're and then, like, the developers, like, they have nothing to do with, like, all this stuff that he's bringing onto them. Like, yes, they have work to do in terms of performance, but they didn't need this extra pressure and that he's causing. And I think, just take his phone away. He needs to he needs to take a lesson in, like, PR and stuff like that. I know it's honestly, like, shocking that somebody at Take-Two hasn't contacted him already and be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. Like, we're trying to sell copies, all right?"
There's definitely gonna be a chance where that happens. Take-Two's gonna be like, listen. You're ruining the sales. Calm down.
Yeah, just take a break, go on a vacation or something. Get off Twitter. But
Yeah.
fighting with the fans is never the answer.
Yeah, no, never the answer, never. And let's move on to some more development issues. This time we're talking with developers of DICE, the Battlefield 6 game, the upcoming game coming out October 10th. In a couple of weeks. I'm super excited for this game, by the way.
Yeah.
So Kotaku sat down with DICE and they were discussing with the technical director, Battlefield 6, Christian Ball. He said the biggest thing that they did was a challenge for us was memory. The Xbox Series S does have less memory than even our mid-spec PCs. He says, so there was a point, he says, about 12 months ago where they had to really focus on getting the levels to work and not crash on the Series S. And in about 2 months, they found out what was the issue. They rewrote some code and they optimized the game specifically for Battlefield 6 and the Frostbite engine. And it turned out that the whole game was better and more stable. And because of the memory issues on the Series S, they had to optimize the game. And then it turned out that made the game work better on all systems. So now the reporting is that on the PS5 Pro, you can play Battlefield 6 at 4K 60 frames in performance mode, which is what people have been asking for a long time. So people took this a little bit the wrong way. They took it as like, oh, the Series S is a potato. It's not worth it. But honestly, we got to thank the Series S for giving the options for developers to actually work on optimizing the game so that way it's better overall, because without it, they would have just left at the mid-spec PC, and even PC players who had a lower end GPU wouldn't be able to play the game. Now, a lot more people are gonna be able to play the game thanks to the DICE developers for optimizing for the Series S.
Yeah, and honestly, this is not the first time we've heard something like this, where a game benefits on other platforms thanks to optimizations from the Series S. We literally heard it, I think, earlier this year, with Larian and
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate 3.
absolutely.
Yeah, they were the ones who said that because of optimization on Series S, they were able to bring those optimizations to the Series X and PS5 versions. And now those versions run better on those platforms because of the Series S. And it's funny too because not too long ago, the Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, he basically said what I've been saying for years, that developers, for whatever reason, will always backport these games. Instead of developing from the lower spec up, they'll do it backwards. They'll develop for the highest spec and then backport it to the lower spec, where it's a lot harder to fit all that stuff into the weaker platform. And then developers have done this like so many times, especially for like Switch ports. That's why it's so difficult to do, because you're taking a larger game and trying to fit it into essentially, I mean, this is like basic terms, but like you're taking a big game and trying to fit it into a small place. So obviously there's going to be limitations, and then you have to make sacrifices, where if you started from the bottom and worked your way up, then you would know how much space you have and you can work with that instead. And then once you start porting upwards, it's a lot easier to do because you have more space. Like if you think about it, like imagine like you live in like a small apartment and you got a bunch of stuff and you make it work. Obviously, you feng shui everything, you put things in order, and you make it work. You make it look nice for the space that you have. And then when you move out and you have a bigger space, it's a lot better because now you have more space. Now imagine if you did that backwards. If you lived in a big house and then you have to move into a smaller apartment or whatever, it's gonna be hard to fit all your stuff in there. So it's like it's that same like logic where if you start small, work up, it's a lot easier to do. And I think more developers need to start with that mindset instead of doing it backwards, because that's where the issues lie. If you don't release a game on like a Switch or a Series S where it's a lot harder to optimize, then your game is going to suffer if you want to do that later on. So I think if you're going to release a game, you have to keep that mindset. And now, I mean, maybe it's a different situation with like the Steam Deck and stuff like that, because I mean they don't really spec for those. Like obviously they have the deck verified stuff, but that's more on Valve for them to do.
Yeah.
But maybe that might change with the Xbox Ally. Maybe because now they have their own verification system, and now maybe more developers will be aware that there's going to be more handheld players now. So maybe they'll take that into consideration when making optimization and stuff like that, because now they have another SKU to make. But yeah, I think this is good overall, and I hope more developers follow this trend because it's gonna be better for their games overall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
it's gonna be a little challenging, but like that's game development. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be challenging regardless. Like stop trying to take the easy way out.
You
That's
can
what leads to bugs like with Borderlands 4.
Yeah, and you can definitely see how it can be better for sales. You can even look at um what was the game that just came out? It was on Xbox. It was the Doom guy. What's his
Doom
I'm
guy.
drawing a blank. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on a name.
Is a game that just released?
Yeah, recently. It was it's a Doom game.
Doom?
Yeah, Doom, what is it called? The Dark Ages. Doom the Dark Ages. I was drawing a blank on.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
Doom.
The new Doom game, yes.
Yeah, Doom the Dark Ages was released and you had to have like ray tracing, right? If you didn't have, so if you have a mid spec PC, or you weren't able to play that. So it suffered in sales because it had certain settings. They didn't optimize it very well. So if you really optimize your game well for more GPUs, for more consoles, for more things, more places to play, you're gonna see an increased number of sales because more people are able to play. That's just basic math.
Right. Yeah. These I don't know if it's more of just like a publisher thing. That's the part that it's hard to like really argue because we don't know what is going on behind the scenes. Maybe they do want to do the stuff I'm saying. Like maybe they do want to start with like a Series S version and work their way up, but maybe that takes a little bit longer. So publishers are just like, nah, don't do that. And then they got no choice. I don't know. If that's the case, that's really shitty. And I
Yeah.
wish we would know more about if that happens because I don't want to support publishers that do that shit. But it's shocking that this
I
is
guess
coming
you
from
won't be
EA.
buying games then.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I think a lot of them do that.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it's also weird because this is an EA game. EA is notorious for being a shitty publisher. And so far, and it's weird. I said this so many times over the years that EA, I mean, back when Activision was by themselves, it was always EA and Activision trading places on being like the shittiest publisher. And now that Activision is part of Xbox, like they're really not a factor anymore. But EA is now starting to turn a new leaf and they're starting to be more like not consumer friendly, but like, they're making pretty decent moves.
I would say consumer conscious.
Yeah, that's a excellent term actually. So they're being more aware of like what consumers want and they're listening to them. So
Yeah.
we'll see if this trend continues, but I'm good on DICE for basically doing what should be done.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's continue. We have we have rumors about a PlayStation State of Play. Yeah, it's
Oh, another secret one?
another secret State of Play. This is coming, of course. Just take this with a grain of salt. It said Insider Gaming exclusive reported that PlayStation has a State of Play event scheduled for the end of September. They have 10 more days.
Yeah.
So the rumor is that it will be showing Marvel Wolverine, which is, they say it's almost, in quotes, air quotes, almost certainly going to be there, and we'll find out later if we'll actually get the whole State of Play. But they also want to showcase 007 First Light and some more Ghost of Tsushima before the release, and I guess we have to just wait and see if we get an actual State of Play. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I can't really like take any of this State of Place. I feel like every month it's always, oh, there's a State of Play coming, there's a PlayStation showcase coming. Every month we always hear about a State of Play or showcase, and then it ends up not happening. So I'm a little bit hesitant. I will say if there is one, I'm gonna wait until, because I feel like whenever Jeff Grubb says there's gonna be one, then there's gonna be one. Because I feel like his sources always seem to be correct when it comes to the state of plays. So I don't know if he said anything about it yet, but I'll wait for him to say something before I believe it. Otherwise, it's just PlayStation fans getting their hopes up.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is one and it does show off Wolverine and what I think the supposedly Intergalactic might be there, or maybe the new God of War might be there. Great, because we need those games and we want to hear more about those games. Because I feel like every time Sony has a thing, a state of play, like that's what everybody's asking about, and then they don't show nothing. They'll show some not, I don't want to say random games, but games that people were just like not asking for, and that's another thing too. And just with like like the state of plays, Nintendo Directs, and stuff like that, it's okay to be a little upset, not upset, but disappointed when something that you were anticipating doesn't show up. You don't have to be excited just because there's games coming out. Like, it's okay to have preferences. It's okay to say, oh, this game that I was looking forward to, they didn't show it. I'm a little disappointed. There's nothing wrong with that. Because I've saw so many after the Nintendo Direct, there was so many freaking Nintendo fans crying that people were being too hard on the Direct and Nintendo, that we should be happy that they're even releasing a bunch of games, and you're being too what is it, selfish and stuff like that. Like, no, shut up. Like, if a game that I want is not there, I can say that I'm a little disappointed that it's not there. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, the fans of freaking like Fire Emblem, great. It's great that you have a game that's coming out. I don't care. So that's not my fault that I don't care. So miss me with all that nonsense. Stop trying to like be like too dismissive about that stuff. Like, it's okay for people to be disappointed with that stuff. That being said, if Wolverine doesn't show up, I'm gonna be pissed.
No way.
At this point, it has to. Like, why? What's taking so long? I know they had the whole leak and stuff like that, but what is going on? Why? Why would
That
you
is
announce
so
this 5 years ago and then nothing?
that is so hilarious. Oh man, that's funny. Let's continue on. We have more rumors of a game show. So we know the Tokyo Game Show is coming up this week. There's lots of events happening in Tokyo on the 25th to the 27th. That whole weekend. That's next Thursday all the way till next Sunday. They're having a bunch of events about games. The lineups are crazy. The things that they already showed we already seen, but we're going to see more gameplay, more hands-on in Tokyo, from Resident Evil Requiem, Silent Hill F, Pragmata, Monster Hunter Stories, Onimusha, sorry, Way of the Sword. They're going to showcase some more of those games. But there's one game from Xbox, Xbox having their own showcase, their own Tokyo Game Show, and there's one game that has yet to be announced that's supposed to be announced on the 25th on the Xbox showcase. Now, lots of rumors going around about what it could be. We talked about it earlier, a couple of weeks ago, about how it could be Forza Horizon 6 to be revealed at the Tokyo Game Show. And I think that's where everybody's leaning, that it's going to be the next Forza Horizon. Of course, the big debate is where's the location of the next Forza Horizon. But it would seem fitting to announce it at the Tokyo Game Show and then release that it's going to be in Tokyo, or in Japan.
Right. Yeah.
That would be really awesome. So that is sort of like the big rumor about what's going to happen on the 25th at 6 a.m. Eastern time. Because it is
Yeah.
happening in Tokyo, so it's gonna be according to their time zone. So when we wake up Thursday morning, we'll be able to watch the Tokyo Game Show and see what they officially announced, that secret game from Xbox.
Yeah. I think there's most likely gonna be this. I mean, Forza being in Tokyo or Japan has been an ask for fans for years. Even the last game, they thought it was going to be in Japan.
Yep.
So it would be, yeah, like you said, it would be very fitting to announce it there. Also, if you look at the promo picture that Xbox put out, it does look like it looks like a street racing type picture. Like, they showed like the city, and they show a road like going straight through. So I don't know. I feel like that will be they might be teasing it. I do want to say, and I don't know how appropriate it would be, but if I hear that Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift song and when they announce the game, I will be busting I will be laughing my ass off, because that will be hilarious. You know that song, right?
I do know the song well because it's in
The
Rocket
ding
League.
ding ding ding
Yeah.
ding ding. If they
That
play that, they will win Tokyo Game Show.
Like it's an actual game show.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but
It's that game that you know what's funny about that song in particular, it's all over like racing games and stuff. It's in Rocket League and I don't like the song.
I don't like it either. I
I
hate it.
don't like it.
But it's so funny.
But if it is the song that they play for the release, that'll be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It'd be fun. It'd be perfect. I mean, granted, like if you listen to the song, it is a little bit problematic because it's kind of like feeding into that stereotype of like Japanese culture and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, that movie came out what, like freaking 15 years ago? I don't remember.
God.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I think it's most likely a lock that it's gonna be Forza, and obviously they're gonna show other games there too.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to it. I want to see because last year they announced a bunch of games, that actually one of the main ones that obviously outside of the Final Fantasy games that they announced, what was it? I think I can't remember the name of it. I play it all the time with my kids. It's Working Together. Or all you need is help. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game came out and like my kids love that game because it's like a puzzle game, but it's 4 players. So it's really cool. And like those are the types of games that like I want to see in these showcases that like that I could just pick up and play because they're on Game Pass, you know? Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it and hopefully we get some more answers about this. So hopefully they can live up to the hype. If they don't announce Forza, then a lot of people are gonna be disappointed. And again, people are gonna be disappointed if they don't see Forza. That's fine. It's okay.
No. If they don't show Forza, I'm rioting.
Yeah, there you go. That's okay. That's perfectly normal. You
That's
shouldn't just be.
normal?
Yes. Well,
That's
maybe
crazy.
not rioting, but
That sounds like, wait, what?
but being upset is fine. Like you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I was obviously joking. All right. I guess we can move on to some more news. This time, some more news still from Xbox. It's a pivotal move for Xbox's growth in Asia. Minosato Kato, I'm sorry if I screwed that name up. She has ascended to managing director of Xbox Asia. She's aiming to transform the gaming landscape for both Japan and China, as Microsoft seeks to bridge gaps with elusive local publishing and emerging markets out of Asia. And this is really big. They never really had sort of like a big position like this in terms of Asia. It's always been this elusive market, with China and Japan. And we all see them of closing Tango Gameworks, how like that could have been problematic, but we also don't know the ins and outs of what was going on in that particular studio. But they're looking to bolster the Asian market, and moving her into a managing director position of all of Xbox Asia is a big step forward because she's been huge in making waves for Xbox in Asia and bringing more games. Even like all of the Final Fantasies with oh man, what's the publisher name for Final Fantasy? Jeez, it's Square Enix. There you go. It's right in my face. Even making big partnership moves with Square Enix to bring all the Final Fantasies on Xbox, including Xbox Play Anywhere and cloud gaming. So this is a big moves out of Xbox, and hopefully she does very well, so we can see some more Japanese and Chinese games come to Xbox.
Yeah, that's been one of like the sticking points with Xbox over the past few years, over the past decade, honestly. Like their Japanese game support has been like dwindling, where to the point where like games would just outright skip Xbox. And like yeah, it happened like from a lot of games, but it was mainly like Japanese published games where they would just not even bother. And I get why, because like the Xbox audience is mainly American or Western, so it's harder to sell those games there. But at the same time, like if you take away those games, you can't expect to grow that audience. And I feel like we've had this conversation before in regards to like Final Fantasy, but like if these games or if these publishers wish to see more growth on Xbox, then they have to facilitate that growth. If you take games off of the platform, then you're not going to see growth. You're not going to see growth at all. So I get the whole it's not worth it support that stuff, but is it worth it to try and grow your audience, especially in a market that is focused in almost entirely on growth? Like we're seeing Square Enix basically say that taking that Sony exclusivity deal was a mistake, and that it was probably the I don't want to speak for them, but like it was probably the worst decision that they made, because now they couldn't see um that revenue that they used to when they were multi-platform. And sticking to, obviously, like, maybe it was easier for them in terms of like developing, because you focus on one platform, it's easier to develop for, but that's not gonna facilitate that growth. You need to release as much platforms as possible, and especially like with Japanese developers, like a lot of their games are kind of niche. So like if you don't release everywhere, then you're only holding yourself back. So I'm glad that Xbox is taking that seriously and are working with these developers and publishers to make sure that Xbox is a viable platform for their games, and showing that there is a partnership to be made and that they can benefit from. Whereas before, maybe under different leadership, like when it was what's this guy's name? Don Matrick. Maybe under his leadership, maybe it was like, nah, like we're not doing that. But it's a different Xbox, and I mean, granted, there's other issues with it that we will get to, but it's a different management, and it seems like they want the Japanese audience to see Xbox as more than just like, oh, that's the dude bro console, that's that where you play shooters and sports games. Like, no,
Yeah.
like you can play a variety of games, like, and that's also to introduce that genre to like JRPGs or just Japanese focused games to that audience, because they probably don't know about that stuff, or if they're not exposed to it, they're not going to know that they like it. That was one of the things about Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It introduced a lot of people to a JRPG style game that they never would have seen otherwise, because they thought, oh, JRPGs, that's, I don't play that stuff. But then they play that game and they're just like, oh, this is what it's like. That's actually pretty cool. So it's like, if you introduce those genres to a different audience, they may gravitate towards it. You don't know until you find out. So I'm glad that Xbox is taking that initiative, and hopefully we see more from it.
Yeah. I mean, we actually just now was looking up on Twitter, and somebody just posted that Xbox is hiring for a strategic partner manager in Japan. So they're really going full steam with trying to bring in the Asian market into the Xbox ecosystem. You don't really see that often from American companies, specifically with Xbox and their troubled past. So we're getting more information and seeing more job opportunities, bringing more games to more people. It would just be overall better for the gaming community.
Yeah, and I think what's gonna help Xbox overall in that market is their renewed emphasis on like play, like we've seen before, like play anywhere, playing on your phone, playing on handhelds, playing on PC and stuff like that. Because, like, oddly enough, home consoles are not selling that well in Japan. Obviously, they're still selling, but not as much as you would think. Even like I mean, obviously, like the Nintendo Switch is a hybrid, so like that, if they sell it as the portable, and that's honestly, in my opinion, I think that's probably why Nintendo went that route with the whole handheld, and then you could plug it in, or dock it at home. But if you look at PS5 sales, they're not doing that great, like compared to like other regions. In Japan, their sales are not that great. So the home console is not really that viable in Japan. But what is mobile gaming and PC gaming. So Xbox expanding into those markets is probably going to help them a lot in that growth in Japan. So
Yeah,
we'll see how that plays out.
definitely. I guess the last bit of news we saved it for last because it's terrible Xbox news, and we wanted
Yeah.
to talk about it. You know, we're always talking about how the console sales do and how they can bring more to the market, but here in the United States, the console prices are getting an increase. 5 years after the launch of the Xbox Series X and S, we're getting a second price increase in the same years. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Um, the Xbox Series S 512 was 379. That was an increase. Remember, because it was just 300. So it's $100 more since original. The Series S 1 terabyte model is going from 429 to 449, which is again another $100 increase. The Series X digital is going to 599 from 549. The regular Series X, its previous price was 500. They upped it to 600, and then now they upped it again to 649. And of course, the Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition version is going to be $799, $800 for that 2 terabyte Special Edition.
Oof.
Yeah, and I honestly, they say it's because of the macroeconomic conditions here in the United States, which is just fancy talk for saying Trump's tariffs are really eating at them, so they're passing the cost on to the consumer, which
Right.
was always going to be the case. Specifically with because a lot of these products are made in China or Vietnam and India, and then put together here in the States. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of tariffs in those countries, and just a domino effect of what happens when failed businessmen become president. Let's continue on. So that we just have we just have more price increases. It just doesn't make sense. 5 years, prices should be going down, not up.
Right.
And it also makes me afraid of what the next Xbox or even PlayStation is gonna cost.
Yeah. I mean, it feels that Xbox is basically just they're throwing in the towel with this generation. Obviously, we've seen quarter after quarter that hardware sales go down, always go down. It's like something like 50%, 70%, 80% every quarter goes down. And I think obviously Microsoft sees that and they're weighing the options on if it's valuable or if it's worth it to continue to try and push these consoles, cuz the amount of people who bought these consoles or whoever was going to buy these consoles already bought them. There's
Yeah.
very little room for growth at this stage, especially like with the constant price increases. There's very few people who are gonna buy a Series X or S. I mean, obviously they might still sell some more, maybe more of the Series S, obviously, because nobody's gonna freaking pay that much for a Series X anymore.
Yeah.
But I think they're basically saying that this generation is over for them, and they're gonna shift into focusing on next generation. And I mean, we've seen it. We saw the video that Sarah Bond put out where they were talking about the partnership with AMD and their future hardware. Obviously, we got the Xbox Ally coming out soon, and so it feels like they're focusing on what's coming up. And I do believe, I mean, maybe this is just wishful thinking from me. I feel like there's a very strong chance that we see um the next Xbox coming out possibly as soon as next year. I mean, we heard rumors about it before, but nothing concrete. I feel like there everything is pointing to that because outside of just not selling the consoles at all, this is probably like the only way to do it. Like they knew they weren't going to sell any more consoles, so they would just raise the price, take the hit. People still want to buy it, they can buy it, but they're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Obviously, tariffs and stuff like that plays a factor, but we already saw a price increase before and now we saw it again. So which one was the tariffs and which one wasn't? So I don't know. But what I did hear, because I was listening to the Xbox 2 podcast, and something that somebody mentioned on one of like the super chats that they got, that apparently, so compute like tech companies like Apple and Microsoft, they do get exemptions from the tariffs, but only for like if it's for a PC. And apparently consoles don't count as a PC. So they're not exempt from tariffs, which is weird. I don't understand how the classification works between a PC and a console. Like I guess it's more customized and proprietary. So maybe that's why it doesn't, if maybe it's not more general, I don't know. But supposedly, I don't know if this is true, but PC like manufacturing is exempt. So PC parts and stuff like that, all that stuff is exempt and doesn't is not affected by tariffs. So potentially, because a lot of people were talking about, oh, if they're increasing the price of the Xbox consoles, what does this mean for the Xbox Ally? Potentially, it means nothing, and we could still see whatever price they're gonna price it at. I don't think it will be affected, or it might not be affected. Whether or not it is, we'll find out. But I think that also could be why Xbox is putting more emphasis on PC, because we've said it before that Microsoft is they're always too early to the party. So they're always doing things like 5 or so years ahead of when they probably should be doing it. But they do it for a purpose, so that way when it happens, they're already there, you know? So now we're starting to see these tariffs affect consoles, but not PCs. Maybe they knew that was gonna happen. Maybe they spoke with Trump and stuff like that. Because obviously Microsoft has government contracts. So maybe they spoke with the team around the time, and they knew this was gonna happen 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago, like a year ago, when Trump was running, and they anticipated it. So now they're focusing on PC, and they're able to get around the whole tariff stuff. I don't know. I feel like that's more like overthinking and stuff like that, but
Definitely.
we'll see what happens. But o- overall, this just sucks, and nobody should be buying these consoles. I'm an Xbox fan. I'm an Xbox fan. I will always ride for Xbox. Do not buy a console, an Xbox console at these prices. Please don't, because you're sending them the wrong message. You are telling them that it is okay to be overcharged for stuff. I say the same thing for PlayStation, because PlayStation does the same thing, and I fully expect the PlayStation price increase as well. But the difference is PlayStation fans will justify it. They will fight tooth and nail. They will defend it. They will say, "Oh, it's just they're doing it because of this, and it's okay because." No, it's not okay. You're a consumer. Stop defending them. I won't defend this. That's the difference. I won't defend this. This is a shitty thing that Microsoft is doing, whether it's tariff related or not. Do not buy an Xbox right now.
Yeah, I mean
Or maybe if you're gonna do it, do, because these supposedly are this goes into effect in October. Do it now before these price increases take effect, or buy it used, because buying it new just does not make sense at all.
yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous. And you would think that a $4 trillion company can eat some tariffs, if it was really just because of the tariffs. But that remains to be seen, like
Well,
what's going on.
that just goes back to what I said, that they don't see any value in these consoles anymore, or
Yeah.
at least in the Series S and X. Well, maybe the Series S, because that didn't really see as big of a price increase. But yeah, if they saw value in it, if they saw growth in it, they would probably eat it. They would probably be like, "All right, we'll just take it. We're fucking Microsoft. We're $1 trillion company. Like, who fuck cares?" But clearly they don't see it, so they're just gonna be like, whatever, and then people will buy it if they want to buy it. If they don't, whatever. So
Yeah. I mean, that's what we got for the news. Enough of the bad news.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it just sucks that this is still happening. And
Yeah.
even Nintendo, they were talking about potentially still doing another price increase because I know they did it for all the Switch stuff. They didn't do it for the Switch 2 stuff. Maybe they do it for the Switch 2 next time. I don't know. But yeah, this is not over. We're not done with price increases. We're gonna see more from PlayStation and Nintendo. Please don't justify it. Stop making excuses. This is bad. All around. Whoever you want to blame, it's bad all around. But yeah. So well, with that being said, we can end this show. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Want to hear from you? Want to talk with you and engage with you. If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can rate and share us around so we can reach more earballs. If you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, which is W Energy, NordVPN, Starforge PCs. Save some money off subscription and products. And if you support them, they'll support us, and we will thank you, and we will thank them. I think that's it. That being said, we will see you guys next week.
This is
Peace.
Slim
Later.
Jim.